The guns fell silent. World War II was over. Defeated, the Nazi regime crumbled. Yet for some, this was not the end. It was a beginning, a chance to escape. Among the ruins of the Third Reich, a chilling plan was hatched. High-ranking Nazis, architects of genocide, plotted their escape. Their destination, South America. Their goal, to vanish into anonymity, their crimes unpunished. These weren't isolated instances. This was a systematic exodus, aided by a network of sympathizers. Priests, diplomats, and intelligence operatives bound by ideology or opportunism facilitated their escape. False identities were created, funds transferred, and safe passages secured. The Nazis slipped through the cracks of justice, leaving behind the horrors they had orchestrated. The world celebrated victory, but in the shadows, a dark secret lurked. The perpetrators of unspeakable crimes were not brought to justice. Instead, they were given a new lease on life, far from the scene of their crimes. The question remains, how could this happen, and what does it mean for our understanding of justice and accountability? The escape was orchestrated through clandestine routes known as ratlines. These weren't physical paths, but networks of individuals working together to smuggle Nazis out of Europe. The ratlines snaked through occupied Europe, often starting in Germany or Italy. From there they led to safe havens, primarily in South America. One major route went through Italy, aided by sympathetic clergy and a lack of oversight. Another passed through Spain, under the rule of dictator Francisco Franco, who turned a blind eye to the Nazi fugitives. These routes were perilous, demanding secrecy and cunning. Nazis traveled under assumed identities, posing as refugees, businessmen, or even priests. The ratlines relied on a complex web of complicity. Some individuals were driven by ideology, believing in the Nazi cause. Others were motivated by money or blackmail. Whatever the reason, their actions allowed war criminals to evade justice. The existence of the ratlines highlights the dark side of human nature, where greed and ideology can overshadow compassion and accountability. In Argentina, a controversial figure welcomed the fleeing Nazis. Juan Perón, a charismatic general who became president in 1946, saw an opportunity in the ashes of war. He believed that Argentina, with its vast resources and ambitions of becoming a global power, could benefit from the expertise of the Nazis. Perón's government actively encouraged Nazi immigration. They established channels within the government to facilitate the entry of these fugitives. Visas were granted easily, often with fabricated identities. Money flowed from Argentina to support the ratlines and help resettle the Nazis. This wasn't just about economic pragmatism. Perón harbored his own fascist sympathies. He admired the Nazis' efficiency and their anti-communist stance. Argentina became a haven for war criminals, a place where they could live openly, rebuild their lives, and escape the consequences of their actions. Section 4, Safe Haven, Nazis in Argentina. Among the Nazis who found refuge in Argentina were some of the most notorious figures of the Third Reich. These weren't just low-level soldiers or bureaucrats, but architects of the Holocaust and perpetrators of unspeakable crimes. Their presence in Argentina, living openly and rebuilding their lives, was a slap in the face of justice. Adolf Eichmann, the logistical mastermind of the Holocaust, lived in Buenos Aires under the alias Ricardo Clement. Josef Mengele, the angel of death who conducted horrific experiments on prisoners at Auschwitz, also found refuge in Argentina. Erich Priebke, an SS officer responsible for the massacre of Italian civilians in the Ardeatine caves, lived openly in Argentina for decades. These men were not held accountable for their crimes. They were able to integrate into Argentine society, some even prospering in their new lives. Their presence cast a long shadow over Argentina, a chilling reminder of the unpunished crimes of the Holocaust. It also raised questions about Argentina's complicity in harboring these fugitives and its moral responsibility to bring them to justice. Section 5. Justice delayed, the capture of Adolf Eichmann. In 1960, a glimmer of justice pierced the darkness. Adolf Eichmann, living under an assumed identity in Buenos Aires, was captured by Israeli Mossad agents. The operation, carried out with surgical precision, sent shockwaves around the world. It was a bold assertion that the passage of time would not erase the crimes of the Holocaust, nor would it shield its perpetrators from justice. Eichmann's trial in Jerusalem in 1961 was a watershed moment. It brought the horrors of the Holocaust into sharp focus, forcing the world to confront the magnitude of the crimes committed by the Nazi regime. The trial also exposed Argentina's role in harboring war criminals, shattering the illusion of a safe haven. Eichmann's capture and trial, while a victory for justice, also highlighted its complexities. It took almost 2 decades to bring Eichmann to justice, and many other Nazi criminals remained unpunished, some dying peacefully in their adopted homelands. The event forced a reckoning with the past, a reminder that the pursuit of justice knows no statute of limitations. It also underscored the importance of memory and vigilance in ensuring that such atrocities are never forgotten and never repeated.